If we did it right, we could have an alternate that would become the major PSAPs. But I mean, it doesn't matter to me how it ends up. I just think that we need to move ahead and do something because we need a functioning backup PSAPs.
And my question, I guess, to you, Mr. Stoller, is that the presentation that Mrs. Litz showed seems to indicate to, and although I sit on the LEPC and I've been in comm centers, I'm not up on a lot of the issues as a lot of others are. I'm by no means an expert in it, but it would seem to indicate deficiencies to me. How do you answer what you presented?
Well, there are a lot of alternatives that aren't discussed and are a lot more cost effective than building a structure. And a structure is, to me, maybe the least desirable to have. I'd sooner have a mobile, portable thing. But let me just explain this. A lot of the people today, the emergency responders, don't use the pagers. They use their cell phones or their Blackberries to get the calls. That's all you have to do in an emergency. It's either with a hardwired computer, a wireless computer, or a cell phone. You can do the same thing. If they get the calls, which, you know, doesn't matter how they get them, they don't need, I saw you had about the CAD system. The CAD system still isn't functioning correctly. They have the card system. You don't need the CAD system.
Have the system in place to receive the calls. You're saying it's got to be made to various fire companies or something like
Well,
that.
each fire company has their own telephones.
Don't the regulations call for a central receiving?
Well, I haven't read them. He's got them for me, John. As soon as I read them. But I don't believe it does, no.
That's just it. I think, with respect, Mr. Stoller, you're looking to call out where people are looking to call in, and I think that's two different issues.
I don't think you're paying attention again. The over the internet.
But we don't have that capability now.
Why don't you? They're doing it because you may not be able to make calls depending on the nature of the event. And they had the phones up there. Maybe they need to update them a little bit. But they have telephones at the Cornwall site. They don't have to take the calls over the trunk radio system they're using today, over that trunk line. You can take the calls on analog and dispatch over a computer.
I don't understand how they're going to know where to call.
Well, it's whatever number we use, either 911 or whatever number we would choose to use to have those cell phones programmed to.
And if it was that simple, why would we have all that equipment downstairs?
Well, I didn't buy it.
You've heard both sides of this discussion. Do you have any thoughts on the matter?
Commissioner Stoller is a liaison commissioner to the department. I have confidence that he'll do what is right. So.
Defined as alternate routing, and it is the capability of routing 911 calls to a designated alternate location if all the 911 trunks to the primary PSAP. PSAP is public service answering point, by the way. If all the 911 trunks to the primary PSAP are busy, it may also be activated upon request when 911 equipment fails or the PSAP itself is disabled. That's
What I'm saying is with cell phones and a computer, you can put it anywhere you need it at any time.
You're happy with what we
what
have?
I'm not saying I wouldn't make changes, John. You know, I don't ever shut the door at anything. Just like you know, all these misrepresentations, it's neither. And putting all your eggs in something like that is neither. We have the equipment right here in this building. We have other buildings that we could dispatch.
What other buildings do we have then?
Well, where we have a computer. Not at all.
Well, I hope that you take the time to read that, and when you're ready to come back and talk about how we can improve our backup PSAPs, I'm here to support you, Larry. I know that we have to do something. We can't just keep looking the other way.
We're not looking.
Down on the 4th floor of Cedar Haven. It's our building. We don't need all this approvals from everybody else. It's our building. We can do what we want to do with it. We want to set up, it was always our intention that if something broke bad here, we would move to Cedar Haven fourth floor. That's always been the intention.
But nothing's been done to make it operational.
You don't need.
It has to be set up.
We could rent space from you. I mean,
I think that would be a conflict of interest.
well, then you could give it to us for free.